In April 6th, 1994, it was just a normal day like any other in Rwanda. And by the end of the next day, more than 80,000 people had lost their lives. And I'm bringing this as a conjunction to the political bravado that President William Samoei Ruto, his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, and the Right Honorable RAILA Odinga have taken. It has to be termed in the best possible ways, regardless of their seniority positions in this country. Because I strongly believe many Kenyans would 1,000 times prefer going the handshake way than experience what happened in 2007 general election. And in this episode, I'll just like to bring you up to speed onto the nitty-gritty details as to why the handshake is always and will always be self-centered and not orchestrated purposely for the common man. But in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you've been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok, or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concerns, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on the notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. Now, it is in the public purview that there are some ODM rebel MPs to whom currently are being victimized and vilified for working with President William Samoei Ruto. Now that they are MPs, people have been calling them names, but had it been for the Right Honorable RAILA Odinga, that is exactly where they draw a very big line. Hypocrisy. And thanks to this one MP to whom came out fearlessly to admit that there are not only 8, but there are more than 60 working with President William Samoei Ruto.
I am an ODM member of parliament, and I have no intention of leaving ODM. And I was elected as such on ODM. What we are trying to do is to engage with the sitting government on development issues. As you are aware, the president is the head of state and symbol of national unity, and is a person who is vested under our constitution to exercise executive authority. It is therefore important for any elected representative to engage with the president. We are not engaging with the president on political issues. We are engaging on development. And we have no intention of joining UDA or crossing over to any other arrangement. Our main focus is that the president is willing to work with us on development issues for our constituencies. And we don't see any reason why we should not take that opportunity to work with him. Because that is what happens in democracies. Yes. I think what we need to tell people, frankly speaking, is that the vision we have, people see us as, the media calls us the 8 rebels. Let me just tell you that we are not 8, if you are to use the Luo community. We are over 18 of the 32 elected Luo members of parliament who have a view of how to engage on development issues with the government. But if you take the larger ODM family from Turkana to Mombasa, the numbers are about 64. So it's a very large group. But nobody is rebelling. Nobody wants to leave ODM. People just want to look at things a little differently from the way we have engaged in the past. And the main focus is on development. We are not interested.
RAILA has recently asked them to resign when he himself never resigned from NASA when he immediately joined Uhuru for a handshake and be part of the mongrel kind of government.
Hapa na sisi. Na kutoka hapa tunataka kuunganisha taifa la Kenya ili tutembee pamoja kama watu moja. Hiyo ndio sababu ya sisi kukuja pamoja hapa siku ya leo. And we say that the divide ends here, beginning the process of building the bridge that binds Kenya together. Yes, where we are. Sasa ndugu yangu ataongea.
God bless.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, I have taken great pleasure this morning in welcoming my brother, RAILA, to Harambee House, where, as he has clearly indicated, we have had the opportunity for extensive discussion.
Fourthly, we are saying that for parliamentary democracy to work, members of parliament elected on a political party's ticket or a coalition ticket must take to those parties for the life of that parliament. If they resign or show for all practical purposes that they have resigned from their parties and are now voting with another party, that they've closed the aisle, they must resign and go back and face the electorate afresh. That is the only way in which we can be able to strengthen our parliamentary democracy. If you are elected on an ODM Azimio ticket and you are now dancing with Kenya Kisha and UDA, resign and come and pick the electorate here. Those are the irreducible minimum. The irreducible minimum that we are demanding as Azimio. And we will continue to demand. These are not negotiable. These are not negotiable, and these are rights of the people of Kenya. And we have said, the Constitution of Kenya provides in Article 1 that sovereignty in the Republic of Kenya rests with the people of Kenya. They can either exercise it directly as the people or through the elected representatives.
Or equally, does this mean that he is the only one to whom is entitled for a handshake? I remember very well he stopped championing for the high cost of living, but instead turned out to be a defender of the government.
Cost of fuel and all the other costs are rising fundamentally. And in the very short run, in the interim, because you have President Uhuru Kenyatta's here and the government's here, what in the interim would be your proposal to reduce the cost of living and make life easier for many Kenyans? That is in the short run. But in the long run, what would be your promises? What would be your plan in the event you're elected president in August?
Well, because as you look at really the cost of it, I see some people who are really trying to divert attention of the public, playing populist politics with the cost of living. But the facts are that, one, I think you had like a crop failure. You did not harvest enough to be able to satisfy the demands, the needs of the country. Secondly, there have been other events which have taken place in other parts of the world, which themselves are major contributory factors to the rise in cost of living, not only in Kenya, but around the world. Even see the USA is fighting it. European countries right now are having serious problems because of what is happening in Ukraine there. So there are factors beyond the actual control of the government. But you can actually make some adjustments when you, for example, cut down on certain expenditures and then focus on feeding the people, making it much more bearable for the local person in the country. And you're really talking about basically just essential commodities like the cost of unga, which everybody talks about, the price of sugar or the price of cooking oil, and also petrol.
And today, the vice versa happens now that he is not in government. Kenyans should also be made to understand that opposition is not all about enmity, and legislation is equally not tantamount to political parties. And I've never read anywhere that back in 1966, Jaramogi had to resign from his position for him to face off with Kenyatta to the electorate. If I only imagine of a RUTO-RAILA handshake, then I kid you not, that shall consign and push the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to the periphery. And now that the DP understands all this, he's been very categorical in vindictively pushing away Raila Odinga out of their government. But honestly, that is just my opinion. If you have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly just feel free to drop your comments in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And as I end this, kindly consider hitting on the subscribe button if you have not. Thank you and may God bless you.